Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 6, Episode 2. I apologize in advance. The sun is kind of fading in and out or whatever. So, I apologize in advance if you guys have a hard time seeing me. But we picked up right we left off from last week, with Jocelyn and Stevie J meeting up. He's, telling her, like, I got your letter and everything, I'm not going to, I'm not going to run away from my responsibilities and all this other stuff. And, she like, you said that this wasn't your baby and all this other stuff, so I didn't know what else to do. And, he like, when I say that, and, she like, I don't expect shit from you because you got a whole bunch of other kids and, but it's the fact that we've been together for almost 6 years and, you would do something like this. And, he like, Jocelyn was the one sitting up here telling all these lies on social media and everything, and she trying to act like I'm the bad guy or whatever, spreading lies about me, my baby mother, and blase. So that's why he had his doubts. And she welcomes him to the baby shower if he wants to come, and she starts tearing up and whatnot, and saying that she would never lie about who her baby daddy is. And now he kind of feeling bad about it. How Stevie get when it comes to his woman. He got a soft spot when they tear up and when they cry. So she tells him, I'm moving back home, I'm moving back to Miami. And he like, if that baby mine, no the hell you not. And she like, Stevie, I done already made up my mind, I don't got time for this. And he's like, I'm in all my kids' lives, you know what I'm saying? And he said something to her. I don't really know what the hell he said before he had got up and, he went over to kiss her on her head and, starts rubbing her stomach and all this other bullshit. So anyways, moving on from that, we get up with Jasmine, Kirk's alleged baby mama. And, she realized that she told the wrong motherfuckers about this baby at that masquerade party. I said, you think? Especially telling a motherfucker like Carly Red. So anyways, she's saying that she's been avoiding Rod or whatever because she doesn't want to have to tell him about, like, she just needed her space because she didn't want to really, tell him about, what had happened and her, revealing to everybody about that being Kirk's baby. He tells us a little bit about himself. I think he said he does something with music or whatever. He's saying that he invested in Young Jock a while back and, he went to prison for money laundering. She tells him about the whole, situation that happened at the masquerade party. And, he's pissed that she told. You know what I'm saying? And, she tells that Kirk continues to deny everything. And he's like, Kirk been sliding her bread or whatever, paying for her bills and, all this other stuff, whatever. But Rodney is the one who's actually been, really like taking care of the baby. And, he's like, I mean, when, for real, when you got pregnant or whatever, when you got into this situation, I was only gone for like 8 or 9 months, in jail, tops. And I'm like, 8 or 9 months? I was like, ooh, somebody hot in the puss. I was like, you couldn't wait? Girl, And then, another thing. Rodney not even cute. The fuck? Like, the fuck, he not even cute. But, I mean, I was like, he was gone for 8 or 9 months and she couldn't have wait, girl. I mean, I guess, but anyway, so, she's saying that, she's sorry for all that shit or whatever, and she just doesn't want Kirk to get away scot-free and everything, and, he's like, that's alright, because, the world is going to see Kirk for who he really is and all this other stuff. So, moving on from that, we get Tommy. She finally is out of jail. She was locked up for 24 hours, and her mom is in town. And we get to kind of see a little bit of, where Tommy, I guess you could say, gets her behavior from, with this particular confrontation between them two. She's saying that pretty much her and her mom don't mix. She was in group homes and juvie and all this other stuff. And pretty much she raised herself. And, she's pissed off because her mom wasn't answering her calls from, jail. She was like, why didn't you answer my calls? And she was like, oh, you called? And all this other stuff. And, Tommy is like, you busy every time I go to jail. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, girl, you need to stop going to jail then. I mean, I'm just saying, but you know, she like, I'm about to get rid of motherfuckers that ain't, here for me and all this other stuff. And then we get this dude named Jerry. He comes in and pretty much he's like her own personal bail bondsman at this point. He's become like part of the family. I said, now, you need to stop going to jail. You got a personal bail bondsman. And she had to pretty much call him up because everybody else was too busy or whatever, including Stevie J. So, Tommy, she's popping off on her mom, this, that, and the third. They start going back and forth, and, her mom is telling the dude Jerry to take her back and everything, and Tommy still fussing her out, cussing her out, twisting her face, doing all this shit that she do, real thug like, you know what I'm saying? And Tommy was consistently calling her mom a bitch and a hoe throughout the whole conversation. And her mom is like, you don't disrespect me like that. I'm your mom. And security, they was already, mob deep on deck or whatever. I said, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? They already knew that some shit was going to go down. So, I mean, I understand that Tommy is mad with her mom and everything. That, she's been through a lot with her mom. Her mom ain't been there for her. And, and obviously her and her mom still have issues and everything. But, that's still your mom. You know what I'm saying? And to call her, a bitch or a hoe, like, and, whatever, that shit is not cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I try some shit like, child, I wouldn't even get the whole word out. I would be 6 feet under somewhere, and she probably would kick my grave down 2 more feet. Okay, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play that shit when it comes to moms and stuff like that. But like I said, I do understand her frustrations, but calling her mom bitch and a hoe and all that stuff, she could have kept that. But anyway, so we get Mama D, you know what I'm saying, and she's doing like this Soul Train line to her song, in that order, in that order, in that order, in that order. That song's still kind of catchy, but she's still saying how Ernest ain't shit. And how his mom been paying for everything, and he's saying that he's been having some health problems or whatever, and Mama D been riding his back and all this other stuff, and she's like, that you've done more to help your mom, and than what you've been doing to help me. And she said one thing about it, I'm not gonna come last and all this other stuff. And he like, but you can't be trying to compete with my mom and everything. And she like, she don't fuck you, or she was like, she don't do what I do for you. She was like, she don't fuck you. And she was like, and if she do, I want a threesome. I said, what? like what the fuck what be going through Mama D's mind sometimes? I was like, that is nasty as hell. That's incest. Just there's all kinds of shit that should not. No, cruel. That's incest, cruelty against the elderly. Like, Mama D, no. Now, I don't know where your mind be going sometimes, but I'm gonna need for you to just, I'm gonna need for her to do something, okay? So anyways, he breaks the news that his mom is moving back to Atlanta or whatever, and Mama D, she's pissed off, she ain't with it. She like, why she gotta move back here, yada yada yada. So and I'm gonna get to that in a minute, because Scrappy had said the same thing that pretty much, I'm pretty sure a lot of us was saying when we was watching, her carrying on about his mama. So anyways, we get Jocelyn real quick. She meets up with Melissa to tell her about, the meeting with Stevie J and everything, and how all of a sudden he wanted to, rub and kiss on her stomach and all this other stuff. And she was like that, she don't have no plans on moving back in with him unless, maybe if he do what he got to do, then maybe they could talk about something. And so apparently, I guess Stevie J had invited her back to, his crib and everything. And Melissa, she's like, what? Like, oh my God, like, why would you do that? And, Jocelyn's like, I mean, we didn't have sex and nothing like that. I just, slept over there and everything. And this heifer, she takes out her bag, a pair of his drawers with his DNA up there, so she can, do the DNA test herself, and she wants Melissa to go with her because she don't trust Stevie J in taking the test on his own. So moving on from that, we get Carly Red. She meets up with, you know, the girl Jasmine, and then on the other side of town we get Jock meeting up with Rodney. So, you know, she's giving the rundown about how she used to dance, and he took interest in her, and, you know, how she was like, well, I got somebody, and he was like, you know, well, I got a wife, you know what I'm saying, so, you know, what that mean, you know what I mean? And I was just like, low down dirty Kirk in the dirt. So anyways, you know, she was like that she used to go out with his friends and his family members, and she even met, you know, little baby Carter. And, you know, Rod, you know, he's telling Jock like, yeah, Kirk used to move around real sloppy and everything, you know what I'm saying? And he's pretty much telling the same thing to Jock that, you know, Jasmine is telling to Carly. So, you know, Carly is like, well, you know, Rod is a scammer or whatever. And Jasmine is like, what? No, he's not. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about here. So, you know, Carly is like, well, can you show me some receipts or something? And so, you know, she pulls out the receipts. She shows a conversation between her and Kirk. And Carly like, oh, I know his number. She was like, I know his number. Let me see and everything. And I know I seen, you know, some people saying like, what would she be doing with his number or whatever, this, that, and the third. I mean, you know, she could have his number for like emergency purposes or whatever. This, I mean, I would hope she wouldn't be actually like real live texting him like, hey, Kirk, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be for emergency purposes, you know, for like Rashida or whatever. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so, Jasmine is like, oh no, this is not the same number, you know, this is you know, that you know of. This is, you know, a separate phone that he has that Rashida doesn't know about. So Carly, here she go again with the motherfucking Oscar award winning antics. This bitch gonna fake pass out. I said, didn't you already do this last season? Like, what the fuck? Okay, so anyways, you know, apparently he done let her use a car or something. And, you know, it's a proof of insurance with his name, it's a proof of insurance, you know, with his name on it or whatever. They both, you know, Rodney and Jasmine are showing both, you know, Carly and Jock, you know, the video of Kirk apparently holding the baby and saying, you know, I'm your daddy or something like that he said in the video or whatever. And Carly's like, oh yeah, that's Kirk, that's Kirk. And Jock, he like, I mean, you know, it do look like Kirk or whatever, but who's to say that Rodney ain't, you know, superimposed Kirk's head on another man's body? I see you thinking, Jock. I see where you're going with that. But I don't think Rodney that damn smart to just be going through all that shit. But then again, I don't know. Mimi said that he was a scammer or whatnot. But I just, yeah, I don't think so. Not on this one. Okay. So anyways, we also find out that apparently Kirk done told the girl, you know, that he loved her or whatever. So moving on, we get Mama D and Scrappy. They go shopping. She tells him about, you know, she made it seem like as if it was a real 911 emergency. She telling him that, you know, Ernest's mom is, you know, moving back to the A. Scrappy looking confused like, I mean, what's the problem with that? You know what I'm saying? And Mama D like, the problem is she undermining my marriage and everything. Like, she's always, you know, calling the house or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Scrappy, he like, well, you know for meddling, so why you mad? How you gonna get mad at somebody for doing what you do? And that's the point that I was going to make and everything until Scrappy had said it himself. I was like, yeah, Mama D, how you going to sit up here and get mad about the same shit that you do? It's motherfucking payback. Oh, well, now you know how it feels. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll stop meddling in Scrappy shit all the motherfucking time. You getting a taste of your own medicine. You done met your match with karma. Hope you enjoy. So anyways, you know, Scrappy is telling her, you know, pretty much they get into a conversation about him and the Bam, and you know how him and the Bam had a big fight the other day. He been living in a hotel. Bam don't trust him. Mama D wants them to work it out. And he like, you know, I'm not even sure if I want to get married at this point. You know, get married for what? Just to get divorced? And I ain't trying to be arguing all the time like how, you know, Mom Dukes and Ernest be doing. You know what I'm saying? And Mama D is like, you know, and I understand where he coming from, you know. But Mama D says that, you know, she wants to throw a dinner to, you know, and she wants him to invite the band or whatever, and, you know, she's going to invite Ernest's mom so they can discuss some things as a family. So moving on from that, Tommy, she meets up with KK. I said, oh Lord, she back up here. I was like, well, at least she ain't holding that damn dog in the confessional or whatever. Y'all know she used to hold that dog all the time last season in the confessional. I'm like, damn, do this motherfucker eat, piss, and shit? Like, I mean, she always had that damn dog. But she was doing a photo shoot with the dog, though. So, you know, Tommy is saying how, of course, you know what we already know, she always been a daughter to KK or whatever. So they sit down, you know, and she tells KK, like, you know, I was in jail, whatever. And KK like, girl, for what? And, you know, she was like, for Jocelyn, that whole situation that happened on Peter Street and everything. And KK like, well, you know she pregnant, right? And Tommy like, I don't give a fuck about all that. I don't give a fuck about you. Just don't be trying to get me locked up or whatever. Just then third. So, you know, she's like, because, you know, KK is asking, well, what is Stevie saying about this? And, you know, she's like, I mean, Stevie been having her issues with her. I mean, his issues with her and everything. But, you know, I haven't heard from him since the precinct. And, you know, so, she also tells about how her mom wasn't answering her calls and how she gonna sit up here and tell, you know, Jerry to take her back to jail and everything. And she's like, you know, my mom was probably, you know, she probably felt neglected or whatever growing up because she had a lot of grandkids. I mean, because my grandma had a lot of kids and everything. And she talks about how her mom is selfish and blah, 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 how her and her sister felt that shit. And KK tells her, like, look, somebody got to break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? She like, life is good for you right now because you're getting help. And she's like, you know, if your mom is still drinking, you have to, you know, try to be compassionate and everything. And not to, you know, fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? Because if you end up in jail, I can't, you know, come and visit you or whatever because, you know, I'm a felon. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get it together and everything. And, you know, Tommy, she also talks about the fact that, you know, about how shit didn't work out between her and Scrap, but, you know, she's dating now and everything, and how she can't really visit him either because she's a felon. But she's saying that she got something for Carly Red's ass because she still ain't forget about, you know, what she tried to do when she was dating Scrap and everything. And I'm like, if you're trying to be on a whole nother level or whatever, why don't you just let karma work itself out? Why you gotta go in and interject yourself and do some revenge type of shit? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so Stevie J, he walks into his house. You know, he sees a suitcase or some shoes or whatever. He thinking Jocelyn trying to move her way back in, and then he realizes it's his daughter Savannah. You know, she wants to live with him all of a sudden. You know, she done took a flight from Jersey to come down there, and, you know, he like, I mean, well, you know, we gotta enroll you in school and everything. She's like, oh, that's okay, I'm gonna finish school online or whatever. And he like, what the fuck, what is going to school, going to high school online? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, kids can do that now? I mean, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I graduated in 2013. I mean, but even if that was available back then, I'm pretty sure I couldn't afford it. But anyway, so what was I saying? So yeah, he not feeling it. He talking about some, you know, online school, whatever. I mean, you know, going to high school online, that sound like some dropping out type of shit, and me and her mom ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? And he like, you know, how you gonna sit up here and come here and not tell me? You know what I mean? And she's like, you know, I'm 18, I can make my own decisions or whatever, this, that, and the third. And he like, you don't understand though, this is the bachelor pad. You know? And then he also sees walking through his house like as if she just stayed there. It's, you know, Savannah's best friend. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you just let your kids do any and everything, you know? I mean, clearly you must do. Does she feel that comfortable to just be bringing her best friend up in there like it ain't nothing while you gone? Like, what? Girl. So anyways, he tells about, you know, how he sat down with Jocelyn and everything, and of course Savannah, she doesn't like Jocelyn, she don't care for her, and she like, so this could be your baby, and he like, yeah, this could be mine and everything, this, that, and the third. And I don't remember the rest of the conversation, and I don't really care. So anyways, moving on, we get Mama D and Scrappy or whatever, you know. She's sitting down with Ernest and his moms and everything, and she's asking the mom, like, you know, so why are you moving back to Atlanta? And, you know, the mom, she's like, I mean, is that a problem or whatever? And Mama D is like, well, it's just that you call every day asking, like, Ernie, can you do this? Can you do that? And, you know, Ma Duke, she like, well, Ernie would let me know if he has something to do or not. And Mama D is like, no, that's the problem. He don't. And, you know, he always putting you first and everything. So then Scrappy, he walks in without the BAM or whatever. They're not doing too good. You know, he tearing up and everything. Ernest, he notices that, you know, Scrappy is tearing up. So that's why, you know, he asked him about it, whatever. And, you know, Mama D is like, well, you know, I'll help if you need me, but I don't want to overstep any boundaries. Looking over at, you know, Ernest's mom. And, you know, Ma Duke, she's like, well, she, you know, she starts, you know, she turns her attention to Scrappy, and she's saying, you know, she's sitting up here trying to say that she don't want to be like me or whatever because she feels like I'm overstepping mine. And, you know, Mama D is like, you know, you should be telling him, you know, telling him that, you know, that you got a wife and everything, and that you need to put your wife first or whatever. And Ma Duke, she like, hold up, you not about to tell me anything or whatever that I should be telling my son this, that, and the third. And, you know, she's like that Ernest don't tell her everything. And Mama D is like, yeah, he do, because I heard you on speakerphone saying that you sick of D and all this other stuff, and D the one paying the bills, and I felt some type of way. And, you know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look through my notes. So apparently she's just, you know, Mama D, she pissed off at this point or whatever. So she went into her motherfucking bag. I'm like, this heifer always pulling some shit out her bag. Like what the fuck? So she go into her bag and she's like, here's your pacifier, here's your diaper, here's your onesie. You know, you take care of him. And she walks out. So moving on from that, we get Rashida and Carly. They meet up and everything. You know, Rashida is saying how Kirk claims, you know, he didn't know the girl at all. And Carly is like, well, I met up with the girl. And Rashida like, oh, you did. And, you know, Carly is giving her pretty much the rundown or whatever about how, you know, Kirk met this girl and everything. And she's like, she lives downstairs from y'all in y'all old building. And she's like, you know, she met, you know, his family and friends. And she even met little baby Carter. And, you know, Carly was like, I wasn't believing her at first until she showed me some receipts. And then she showed me, then she told me how Kirk had a whole nother phone. And then she tells her about the video of him holding, you know, her baby and everything. And, you know, Rashida, she starts tearing up about, you know, her being married for 17 years. And, you know, how her and Kirk done built this whole life together. And she told Carly straight up, at first, I didn't even want to meet you because I felt like you was going to be on some bullshit. But you would have to be a sick motherfucker to make some shit like this up and everything. And Carly, she tries to kind of tear up too, but whatever. So, like, one of those tears coming out. So, you know, Carly is saying that, you know, I pray that it's a scam and, you know, whatever. So, moving on from that, we get Kirk and Rashida. She cooking and everything. And, you know, he thinking that, oh, that their problems is about to be fixed or whatever, since shit ain't been right between them, you know, lately or whatever, since she cooking and everything. But she gives him this devious look and tells him, you know, go ahead and say your grace. You might want to and everything. And, you know, she's trying to make small talk or whatever. And then that's when she brings Carly up. You know, how Carly met with the girl and, you know, you claim you didn't know her and blah, blah, blah. She gives him the rundown of everything that she done heard. And she wants to know what the fuck is up. And that's where, you know, that's where it ends at. You know, I apologize for this review being long. I actually got to skedaddle my way up out of here now. So, but yeah, I should have time to put it up right now, whatever. But yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back. Follow me on social media. It's in the description box, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.